Hey guys, Joe here, and today we take a look back at the iPad Air 2. The first way that I'd use to describe the iPad Air 2 is a gorgeous display attached to a greatly built aluminum case, and it wouldn't be far from reality. The 9.7 inches IPS display on front comes at a 2048 by 1536 resolution at a pixel density of 264 pixels per inch, and it's simply incredible to look at. The laminated technology, the same found on all of the latest iPhones, makes for a welcome sensation of pixels floating on top of the display, with zero gap between your fingers and the content beneath them. Like we always say for Apple products, this is not the greatest display around on paper. It is not quite as sharp as the Nexus 9, and it doesn't offer the deep blacks of the AMOLED panels, but it surely delivers top-of-the-line quality, and it has almost zero competition in its size range. So, as I mentioned before, yes, the iPad Air 2 comes with the same build quality as any other iPad. The whole tablet is surrounded by metal, and it's mostly curved and easy on touch, apart from the chamfered edges that definitely help if you want to hold it with one hand. Apart from that, everything has been shrunk with regards to previous generation iPads, and it now comes at a ridiculous 0.96 pounds at just 6.1mm in thickness. It almost feels like holding just the screen itself from how light and how thin this is. However, slimming comes to a cost, and in this case there are two cuts Apple had to make in order to keep it so ridiculously thin. One is the mute switch, the one that every iPhone and iPad has had until now, that has been replaced by a software toggle, and the other one is the battery. In fact, the iPad Air 2 battery is actually 15% smaller than the previous one, coming at 27.3 Wh. While the mute switch might be somewhat annoying for some, the battery cut is likely not to be noticed at all. In fact, the Air 2 delivers the usual solid stamina and the same legendary standby time that literally lasts days. Couldn't they just leave the old battery? Probably, but we know what Apple does in the name of slimming. However, something that Apple didn't cut down on was computing power. The second iPad Air is the most powerful iPad yet, with its A8X chip, and the first Apple mobile device ever to sport 2 GB of RAM. Demanding tasks like gaming are handled just as well as everyday activities, maintaining the iPad on its throne of best media consumption tablet. And speaking of media consumption, yes, the speaker is still side-facing, but it's really loud, and you can get away with that overall. It is still a good audio system for basic video watching and music listening. However, if you again forget the specs, there is little difference to notice in terms of performances between this and the first iPad Air. With double the RAM, you'll surely be able to keep more apps on the background, and it will definitely help in stuff like web browsing. But the big news is that, due to its RAM, the newly announced multi-Windows mode in iOS 9 will likely be an iPad Air 2 exclusive, at least for a little while. Something else that got upgraded from the previous iPad Air is the camera. The Air 2 sports an 8MP sensor, which is not on par with the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus in terms of picture quality, but if you're amongst those who badly want to take pictures with their iPads, you'll hardly tell the difference. Oh, and by the way, if you're an iPhone 6 owner, you'll be happy to know that this tablet also supports Touch ID, with the minor inconvenience that you'll have to record all of the fingerprints from scratch, and you won't be simply able to transfer them via iCloud. So at the end of the day, should you still buy it? If you're coming from the previous iPad Air, the answer is a clear no. You'll surely get some more extended support in the future and possibly some extra features with iOS 9, but nothing worth the expense. On the other hand, if you're coming from previous iPads or basically any Android tablet previous to 2014, this will be an excellent buy, delivering top-of-the-line performances, great battery life, a gorgeous display, and the usual solid build quality Apple has accustomed us to. So that was it for this quick video. Be sure to hit that like button if it helped, and don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Twitter and Facebook. This was Joe from Nerd Herd, and I'll see you guys in the next one.